We're seeing sunlight for the first time in a long time. Welcome to Random Fix, guys. If you guys have been sheltering in place because of the coronavirus, you may be experiencing some symptoms with your vehicle when you first hop into them, and one of them is going to be a low or dead battery. So in this video today, I'm going to cover with you guys some basic things you can do to go ahead and get your vehicle running again without having to spend a bunch of money, as well as some helpful tips to making sure that you don't get stranded somewhere down the line. So I'm going to share with you guys some basic tools that I use to go ahead and get my battery back to the regular level, and stay tuned for that. Before you do anything else and you start jump starting your car, you want to see what you can actually find out about the vehicle. And what I like to use is this very simple, super inexpensive battery tester I have here, and it's less than, I think, $40. You could use it on any vehicle, 6-volt or 12-volt. I'll have the links on how to use this in depth below, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to hook this up really quick, and we'll go ahead and test out the battery, and we'll do a real load test to see how this battery actually weathers up for regular everyday use, so we don't get stranded somewhere. Alright, so I got my hood open here, and there's my battery. And on my vehicle, luckily the battery is in the front here. On a lot of the newer vehicles, especially hybrid vehicles, the battery is located in the trunk. So whenever that happens, you always want to go and actually check it on the battery instead of the little jumper ports, because you don't want to put this kind of load on those skinnier wires. So to hook this up, it's very simple. You want to go ahead and hook up your positive normally first, and on mine it's located underneath this cover, and then you want to hook up your negative, and right when you do, you're going to go ahead and see that voltage on the meter here spike up. And before you start your test, all you need to do is find out the actual power capacity of your battery here. Mine is 360 cold cranking amps, and when you come up here to the meter, you'll actually see these tears. There's a 200 tear, 400, 600. So mine is right going to be between the 2 and the 3. So that kind of gives me an indication that my battery should hold up to the right of that line, even when it's underneath a load. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. And as you can see, the voltage here on my vehicle is above 12, and it actually shows that it's good. But that doesn't really mean anything, since you can actually have a ghost charge, which means as soon as the load is experienced, the real voltage could be under 10.5. And so you actually want to do a load test. And to do a load test, you're going to go ahead and hold down this switch right here, and you're going to instantly see that right here the meter and the voltage actually move down, and you want to hold it. And one thing you'll actually see here is you'll see a lot of heat being generated here up top here, and in the nighttime you can actually see these things glow completely red, just like here on the video. And doing a load test like this is really beneficial, because you can actually see if you got a dead or weak battery, and making sure that no fancy electronics are actually playing tricks on you, since the battery is the heart of the vehicle. So on mine, you can definitely see that the battery is holding up here, and when I let go, the voltage jumps back up, still at 12 volts, and it tells you some minimum stats here on what's going to happen. So it tells you right here to crank what you need, what voltage you need here for starting. So I'm going to go ahead and start my vehicle now, and then we're going to come back out here and ensure that the charging system is actually working correctly, which is supposed to be right here. So the normal voltage on the charging system is going to be like 13.2 to about 14.6. And if you see your charging voltage is in the 15s and 16s, your voltage regulator on your alternator might be not working properly, and you definitely want to get it tested. Alright, so my car here is going to start. This is only a 1-year-old car, so even though it didn't get driven, it didn't experience any major problems. But I did see my 2016 here suffer a little bit more, and I'll show you what I did on that car. Alright guys, so here is my battery tender that I use, and I actually have made a custom plug here, and I'll have a video link below as well, where you can make one of these in case you have a Mercedes-Benz or a GM Ford that actually always powers up the cigarette lighter, and that way you can actually go ahead and do the trickle charging through there without having to leave your hood open. So this will be down below, but this is a 5 amp trickle charger, and these are pretty cool because they're very safe to use. You cannot really get them wrong, and they can go ahead and get your battery back to a good state, and they pay for themselves the first time you use it. So they're very easy to hook up. So I'm going to show you how to do this now. So these actually come with these leads. They're color coded just like the little battery load tester that we had. They plug in only one way, and this is going to go on the positive and this is going to go on the negative. And now I'm going to show you how to go ahead and hook this up to a vehicle. If your battery is completely dead, one thing you'll have to do is you're going to have to take this blade out of the little key case or your electronic key and open up the car. You want to go ahead, put it into the slot and turn to the right. That opens the door. Sometimes you will not see a keyhole because there's a little cover that needs to be removed, especially on VWs. And the way you get that off is you take that same blade and there's a little notch. You use your key to remove the cover so you can actually get access to that keyhole. Then you're going to come over here, pop the hood, get access to the power supply or the battery on your vehicle. So in this case, the battery is actually located in the front here, but if it wasn't, what you would find is normally on the left hand side right here, you would find a red cover that flips off, and that's going to be your positive jumper port. And to get the negative, you can a lot of times use engine component parts such as this ground strap right here. This is definitely a good place. A lot of the newer vehicles, there's not oftentimes much metal, so sometimes I even have to use the hood latch here. That works. And you want to try to avoid components such as the hybrid components here or the inverters here, so that would be a great idea. So I'm going to flip this up, put on the positive terminal here, and now I'm going to go ahead and plug this into power here, and this is what it shows because it knows it's not connected. I'm going to go ahead and connect the negative here to the battery, or you can go to an engine component, but in this case I'm going to go straight to the battery, and you're going to see it stop blinking and it actually went into charge mode. When you're using a trickle charger like this, depending on the actual capacity of your battery and the state of the charge, you may sometimes have to leave this on overnight, and you definitely don't want to leave your hood open like this, especially with bad weather. So what I always suggest doing is either running it underneath some route here. Oftentimes you might want to bring it over and run it right here, and then disconnect it here, and then maybe go around the windshield, and that's a lot safer than leaving the hood open if you're not able to actually go inside the car. If you are able to go inside the car and it always has power, then you want to buy one of these or make one of these yourselves. And this only works on vehicles where the power to the cigarette lighter is always constant. So in this case, that's not the case, but if it was, I would just hook it up in here, roll down my window a little tiny bit, run my extension cord through, and leave that charger overnight with the car vehicle turned off and locked up, so that way no one's gonna go ahead and steal anything out of your vehicle. And just so you guys know, this is what it looks like when it's done all the way and the battery's completely charged. So there you go, no need to swap out batteries. And if you guys do have a lot of corrosion on the batteries here, make sure you clean that up with a brush and some hot water. I've seen people use Coke in the past, that works as well. Try to stay away from that corrosive resistant spray. I've actually seen that cause more problems by creating excessive resistance between the battery and the terminal and making your alternator work extra hard. So try to keep it simple, just keep it clean. Thanks again, guys. I hope you found that to be helpful. Again, if your vehicle does start or needs a jump, you definitely are going to incur that problem again. So I always recommend putting it on a trickle charger. And if your battery is completely bad, I would definitely look into a battery desulfator, and I'll have a link to that below as well as a video. You guys want to check these out because some of these batteries on these vehicles, they can cost $200-300, and you can even essentially lose a lot of your data. Things need to get reprogrammed, so always try to save as much as you can. And I've seen a lot of great progress made with these trickle chargers. They oftentimes don't overheat the batteries like they used to. You do want to make sure that your battery does have enough distilled water in there, and that's another topic, but for overall purposes I've never really had to do much of any of that. But thanks again, guys. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, smash on the notification button as well. If you guys got any questions, please comment below. I always get back to you guys. Be safe and think positive. This will end and your life will resume back to normal. Have a fantastic day, guys. Thanks again. Bye.